Mr. Tony Hadley, welcome again to Switzerland. Welcome to the Retrofestival. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
When have you been to Switzerland the last time?
I was in Switzerland actually early on this year, Geneva Airport. I was going skiing, but probably a couple of years now since we played in Switzerland. So it's good to be back. I mean, I'd be interested to see what the audience are like tonight. And I've not ever been to Lucerne with Spandau. You know, it was either Geneva, Zurich, or Montreux or something. And but not been to Lucerne. It's absolutely beautiful. Really beautiful place. So we're quite anxious to see what the people are like tonight.
Well, I'm sure people are really excited to see you performing. Does it feel strange to be part of a retro festival, actually? Because I think the music that you perform, that you sing, it's so timeless, and it happens to me that every second day I'm driving with my car, I hear your songs. And how does it feel for you when you think about that? Does it happen often to you that you hear your own music when you drive in your car to a place?
Yeah. I mean, every sort of day on the radio, I'm sort of like driving along and, you know, True, Barricades, Gold, Only When You Leave comes up. I mean, I'm not, if I'm really honest with you, I'm not really terribly into the retro festival kind of vibe, because I don't look back on the past. I mean, the fact that I'm playing the songs that made me who I am, I suppose, is a great thing. And I realise that there's a lot of people out there with a big sense of nostalgia. And when you do play songs like True and Gold and Through the Barricades especially, they're songs that mean a hell of a lot to people romantically, or they inspired them or something. So I understand that kind of that past thing. But I don't go back and look at old videos or performances. I don't listen to old Spandau stuff or Tony Hadley stuff. I'm very much for today. You know, we're working on a new album at the moment, and I'm into sort of new bands, and so I don't do that whole kind of. I mean, you'd walk into my house and you wouldn't even know I was a musician. You don't see gold discs or anything like that.
So when you plan your new album, how do you proceed? Like when you're on the road on tour, you sit down in your hotel room after a show with a glass of wine with your friends, and you just play and you record, or you really you sit down and you go to a place. Maybe you come to Switzerland, to a mountain area, to be inspired for how do your new songs, or how are they going to sound?
To be honest, I mean it's very. I'm not one of these people that can write on the road. I mean, you know, there are bands that say, "Hey, man, we're in the back of the tour bus and we're writing the new album." I don't know, no way. That was an American accent, by the way, you know, just for you. And a bad one as well. No, I can't do that. It has to be more of a structured thing, or I'm just at home and I just think, oh, pick up the guitar and just smuck about with it and come up with a melody. There's a song which we're not doing tonight, but called The Dice, which is about sort of someone who's drug dependent, alcohol dependent, that kind of thing. And literally I wrote it before the lyrics. My little girl, Zara, was going to school. And I said, I'm just going to write you a little tune here, darling. And I just started doing a Neil Diamond impression. And all of a sudden she went to school, and I thought, oh, I quite like that song. That's good. So we finished it off. And myself and Phil and the band and everybody and Johnny Kay, you know, we work on songs together. As a band, and sometimes individually I work on songs. I'm due to go to America, to Nashville, Los Angeles, and also went to see Barry Gibb in Miami, and we had a cup of tea and we're talking about writing some songs together for the new album. So it's kind of diverse, but I don't write on the road. Mm-hmm. That was a long answer to that, wasn't it? Sorry.
Doesn't matter. It's okay. I think it's very very especially you've done with Spandau Ballet. You did an amazing reunion tour in 2009. So how did that feel after that long time to go back on the road and see that so many fans are still out there liking your music, go to see the concerts? Did you feel any difference when you think back when you started performing in the early years?
If I'm honest, I mean, for me, it wasn't so much of a transition because, as Tony Hadley, I've been a solo artist for such a long time now. And, you know, I mainly do festivals. So it's nothing unusual to walk out and there'd be 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people. And I'm going, yeah, you know. So I think it was a bit different for some of the other guys in Spandau who hadn't been played, you know, arena tours for a long time. And... it took a long time to get us back together again. I mean, everybody knows we fell out big time. It was a bit like the Eagles when hell freezes over. But I'm glad we got back our friendship. And funny enough, I texted Gary yesterday. He's won an Ivor Novello award for his songwriting. And so we're in contact with each other. He's just had a new baby. We're more concerned about babies than music at the moment. But no, I'm glad we all get on again, which is great. And no, the tour was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. So, you know.
Well, so I was really surprised and also positively surprised that tonight when you came to Lucerne, that on the drums there's John Keeble, which I think is great. Does it happen often that you just call him and say, "Well, I got a gig. Will you be ready to play the drums tonight?"
Johnny's been watching my backside for 32 years there, or whatever it is. So, no, God, longer, 36 years. We were together when we were 16, a school band. So, no, John's been with me as a solo artist for a long, long time now. And it's very, very rarely that John Keeble can't be with me. And he's great. You know, he's the loudest drummer I've ever met. My ears are like whistling already because John just hits it so hard. But he's a great drummer, and I think with Johnny, I mean, when you listen to things, especially like Through the Barricades, there's no other drummer that plays it quite like JK, and he's great. He's a great mate of mine, one of my oldest friends.
Okay. Well, the last two questions I'd like to ask you: what is the most memorable musical moment that you spent in your career that you think, well, this was really something unique, something amazing that you cannot repeat, that really stayed and changed maybe your life and
wow, that's a difficult one. The one that springs to mind initially has got to be Live Aid. I think every artist that appeared at Live Aid will say it was probably one of the most memorable days of your life. I mean, it was Prince Charles, Princess Diana, there was all your contemporaries there were people that, you know, you were a kid watching Top of the Pops, the music program. There's David Bowie and there's Paul McCartney. You know, it was an amazing day. It was really fantastic. And I thought what was lovely about Live Aid, that there weren't any egos. There were no egos. Everyone realised, you know, what we were doing. We were raising money for a good cause, and we were all having a good time at the same time. That's probably one of the highlights. But I suppose that there's loads of others. I'd have to sit down and think about it for a while. But that probably, if you think about the scale of it, that went across the world to millions and millions and millions of people. And that sort of changed the face of music and changed the face of charity and people being generous and thinking about other people other than themselves. So it was a real milestone in music and a milestone in people's thoughts as well.
That's true. I can only agree. I mean, I got the whole DVD collection at home. I was a kid. I was 13 years old. I watched it on TV, and it's really great. Once again, thank you very much for coming out here, coming to Lucerne, play beautiful music, and with a new album, lots of luck and all the best.
This is the longest album we've made, I tell you. But next spring, hopefully, fingers.
So we'll hope for many happy returns. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the chat.
Cheers.
Okay.